opposition from a local journalist just to find out what we can expect from Palace. Joe Smithson's going to provide a bit more music. He was fantastic earlier on. And we've got our higher and lower quiz. So if you'd like to play higher or lower today, I'm looking for 2 contestants. You can either play as a team or individually if you're feeling confident, and the prize is a stadium tour for 2 people here at Goodison Park. So come and find me a bit later on if you want to play higher or lower, and you can be one of our contestants today. Right, I think we have a former Everton player here just to chat a bit more about the game. Please welcome to the fan zone, give a massive cheer to Ronnie Goodless.
There you go.
You all right, Ronnie? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Giulia, as always.
Fantastic. I tell you what, first of all, let's just take ourselves back to May, hey? And that game against Palace, I mean, it had it all. It had all kinds of headlines, news and sport, wasn't it? Just talk us through the emotions of that, because you guys will remember that. I mean, crikey, you've never seen anything like that game.
Well, it is. I'm old enough, to remember the Wimbledon game. I think a lot of the supporters here today remember that, and people on the trees, and it was one which you'll never forget. And I think the Palace game is a similar mould. To go 2-0 down, which was similar to the Wimbledon game. It was uncanny, but I think that's when the supporters and the players come together. I think the supporters can't get enough pats on the back for what they did that night, and again the players rose to it. But we've got to do it every game. I think recently we've sort of dropped below the standard that we've set in the last few games. We know the small margins, but you get that wonderful goal that Iwobi scored against Manchester United, and then 2 massive chances against Tottenham, and if they go in, you're talking something different. But as I say today, supporters can't do any less than they have been doing. I hope, which they will do today, is get behind the team. But the team again, I've got to rise to it. You've got it where it's going to be difficult today, but as you've said, last May we showed it how it should be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure these guys will be in fine voice as well today. Frank Lampard, I thought he spoke really well on his pre-match press conference, talking about how this week they've been looking at, why haven't there been any shots on target? What will he be telling his team today to go out there, and how will he want them to play?
Well, I think play for the crowd, I really do. You look at the Manchester United game, we were in control, we took the lead. Then all of a sudden, I don't know if it's a lack of confidence, you think, Manchester United are going to come back. Let's keep going, and especially at home. As I say, you can't underplay playing at Goodison Park. It's different classes. The supporters are there, and that's why teams have a better home record than an away record. But, Palace will know that they'll be in for it. Don't disappoint them. Let's get from the first whistle. And I just think, like anything, Giulia, players look at themselves all the time, and you don't go out there to play bad, but you've got to do a good reaction. What are you going to do the next game? And we've got to show that 3 defeats on the bounce is just not Everton Football Club. And as I say, a marker is last May, but it's a different game. Palace have had 2, good results for themselves, but we've got to look at ourselves, and especially up front. We need crosses, and we go on about centre forwards. I used to play with Bob Latchford, and we've had great centre forwards down here, but you need service, and that's where wing players come into it. So whether he plays Gray, Anthony Gordon, whoever, they've got to go out and start supplying the ammunition for calvert-lewin if he plays, obviously.
Yeah, we're waiting for the team news on that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, though, he's had just awful luck injury-wise. He's been trying to come back, and then he'd pick something else up. For him to get him back to his best, is that a case of, like you say, is it confidence? Is it just giving him game time now? Is it just maybe start him, and even if he lasts an hour, gets 60 minutes under his belt?
Well, you're right. I mean, I think enough's enough now. He's had a little, say, a couple of cameo roles, and then he's got to where he had a start in Newcastle. Now just say to him, as you said, go out after an hour if you're knackered. Hopefully you're not injured. But he's got to start, really being the centre forwards of old. You've got to hold the ball up, win free kicks, and play with tempo. I just think the final third, we've looked solid at the back. Midfield, is not too bad. And then it's the creativity then. That's where, not just the wide men, midfield players have got to do it. Can Anana get forward and, Mopé if he comes on or plays. Strikers have got to start scoring goals, but definitely, if you're a wide player, you've got to assist, and you've got to start getting crosses into, for centre forwards and midfield players to feed off.
Let's go to the other end of the pitch then. I know they've become firm fans' favourites, Conor, Cody and James Tarkovsky. I mean, They knew the Premier League, didn't they? They knew the rough and tumble of each game. But did you expect them to set up this partnership so quickly?
Well, again, as you said, professionals, British players, I call them the Chuckle Brothers. You've got a YouTube, I think it's on Football Focus later. When you're in partnerships, midfield players, wide players, full-backs, you're in partnerships, Leighton Baines, Stephen Pienaar. If you enjoy playing with the fella who's alongside and you know his strengths and you know his weaknesses, as you say, they could have been playing for us for 10 years, but it's going back to a British player who roll his sleeves up, win tackles and defend. That's why they're called defenders. Defend the goal.
Simple.
Well, it is. That's why a lot of them are ugly as well, but anyway, especially in my day. But it needs to be done, and then it filters through the team. I think when you've got the spine of the team, it just lifts it. And as you've said, Conor, Cody and Tarkovsky couldn't have done any better.
Go on then, Palace and the opposition today. They're currently in 10th, but only 3 points above Everton. It's still so tight. The whole table, apart from right at the very top, seems really tight, doesn't it?
Well, 2 weeks down the line, someone's getting sacked, and then 2 weeks, you're giving them a 5-year contract. So you've got it where Palace were losing the last 2 games against Leeds and Wolves. I watched both games. They come through, so they've got a bit of character. But their offensive players are starting to play. That's where our defensive players have got to be doing it. You've got Zaha, you've got Elise and AU, and good players. I mean, you've got it where there's pace, there's power, a good age, but Vieira's got them playing at a tempo which I think we should be starting with today. And as we say all along, even bad teams will look good if you don't put them under pressure. We've got to put Palace under pressure and say, you're going to get exactly what you got last May, and we're going to get them 3 points.
Go on then, give us a score prediction. Do you think, it's all going to come good again today?
I'm going to go for 2-1. I can see us hopefully getting off to a good start, but I want us to finish good. It's always where you think first 20 minutes we'll do something, but the crowd, as always, as I say, will be up for it. Hopefully the players, I think they will be. And as you've said, a couple of back-to-back wins, and you're saying, what were we worrying over? But we've got to start today and go on an unbeaten run. But I'll be 2-1. I'll be in the Winslow, and I'll be down at a few pints later.
There you go. You know where Ronnie's going to be, especially if there's a win. So we'll catch him later in the Winslow. Ronnie Goodless, thank you so much for being in the fan zone. Give him a massive round of applause.
Cheers, Giulia. Enjoy the game.
Brilliant there to get Ronnie's views ahead of the game. Don't forget, we're going to have team news for you very, very soon. But I was reading this week, actually, that the dates on the Back to the Future film are this week, and it was making me think, if you had a DeLorean, would you go back to May? Do you want to relive it? Well, I tell you what, let's take you back to May now. We haven't got the Back to the Future car, but we have got the big screen. And this, of course, is what happened towards the end of the season. Enjoy.
Wesley's delivery. Oh, it's a dangerous one, and Palace are in front. Oh my word, Jean-Philippe Mateta, a scorer against Everton in the FA Cup quarter-final victory. Jean-Philippe Mateta is off towards the penalty area and puts one in. It's away by Everton, only as far as Zaha, and put in, is it? It is! Oh no, Jordan Ayew. Everton are 2 down. So free kick, what can Everton manufacture from this set piece? Sent deep towards Holgate. Keane, yes! Michael Keane for Everton! Keane controlled it brilliantly and put it home with his left boot superbly well to get the better of Butland. Coleman's gone ahead of him. Damari Gray doesn't need him at the moment. Now he does. Plays him in well. Seamus Coleman lifted to the far post. Dele put in dangerously. Richarlison, it's in! Richarlison squeezed it home! Well level! 2-2. And time yet. Time for the complete turnaround. Can Everton complete the impossible? Gray's ball in! You have the answer! Dominic Calvert-Lewin flies to head home. Is the job complete? Look at these scenes. They've done it! Simply heart-stopping stuff at Goodison Park.
Yeah, there you go. That was back in May. Much more enjoyable when you know how it ends, isn't it, as well, that one? Yeah, coming up soon, we've got team news for you here in the Fan Zone, so stick around. Also, they're going to put some information for you now about the Sydney Cup that, of course, is going on next month in Australia. And there's a fantastic competition if you want to win the flights to Australia, the hotel, and match tickets to watch Everton there. Of course, in that competition, you will find out all the details if you head to the website there on the big screen. So make sure you enter, because it's going to be chilly here in November, isn't it? You may as well go to Australia and watch the Blues as well. All right, I'm going to get some team predictions, some score predictions here. Would you like to give me a score prediction? What's your name?
Callum.
Callum. And how old are you, Callum?
9.
You're 9. And who's your favourite Everton player?
Seamus Coleman.
Seamus Coleman. Fantastic. All right then, Callum. What do you think's going to happen today? What's the score?
2-0.
2-0 to the Blues. I love that positivity. Fantastic. Who do you think's going to score out of interest?
Cody and Mapai.
Brilliant. I think that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? All right, well, we'll come back to you again later. We'll see if you're right. Thank you so much. Would anyone else like to give me a score prediction today? Would you like to give a score prediction? Go on then. What's your name?
Matilda.
Matilda. How old are you, Matilda?
I'm 8.
You're 8. And what do you think the score's going to be today? Are you feeling positive?
Yeah. What's the score? I think it'll be 3-1.
3-1. I think we'd take that, Fan Zone, wouldn't we? Fantastic. And who do you think's going to score?
Anthony Gordon, Calvert-Lewin, and the COYB.
Brilliant. I tell you what, if you're right, I'm coming back to you next time for the lottery numbers as well. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Matilda. Anyone else want another quick team news? Tell you what, you give me a team news. What's your name?
Jamil.
Okay, and what do you think the score's going to be today? Are you confident?
Yeah, 2-1.
2-1. Who's going to score for Everton?
Gordon and Cody.
Brilliant. A lot of, popularity for Conor, Cody, isn't there, as well? It's fantastic. Right, I think we're getting team news. So I'm just going to head back up here. 1 second. It's all right, guys. I'll do it myself. Yes, all right. I'm hearing we're getting team news. I want to hear a big cheer when I read out all the Everton players' names. Are we ready, Fan Zone? Here we go. This is how Everton are lining up today to take on Crystal Palace. Number 1, Jordan Pickford. Number 2, James Tarkovsky. Number 8, Amadou Onana. Number 9, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Number 10, Anthony Gordon. Number 11, Damari Gray. Number 17, Alex Iwobi. Number 19, Vitaly Mikalenko. Number 23, Seamus Coleman. Number 27, Idrissa Ghanagay. And number 30, Conor Cody. All right, Everton substitutes are as follows. Number 15, Asmir Begovic. Number 4, Mason Holgate. Number 5, Michael Keane. Number 7, Dwight McNeil. Number 16, Abdoulaye Doucouré. Number 20, Neil Mope. Number 26, Tom Davis. Number 33, Solomon Rondon. And 37, James Garner. All right, let's take a look at the opposition then. This is how Crystal Palace are lining up today. 13, Vincenze Guaita. Number 2, Joel Ward. Number 3, Tarek Mitchell. Number 4, Luka Milivojevic. Number 6, Mark Gihai. Number 7, Michael Olise. Number 9, Jordan Ayew. Number 10, Eberechi Eze. Number 11, Wilfried Zaha. Number 16, Joachim Anderson. And number 22, Odsonne Edouard. Oh, I like the boo in there from this lot here. And there you go. You can see Crystal Palace's substitutes. Number 21, Sam Johnston. Number 5, James Tompkins. Number 14, Jean-Philippe Matata. Number 15, Jeffrey Schlupp. Number 19, Will Hughes. Number 23, Malcolm Ibowe. Number 43, Kofi Balmer. Number 44, Jairo Riedwald. And number 55, Killian Phillips. Okay then, guys, there you go. You've got the 2 lining up there. And I think now we can go back into Goodison, where Sarah Halpin has got a guest. Sarah, we're going to cross to you now.
Thanks, Giulia, and I'm joined now pitch side by Stan from the Everton Fans Forum. Of course, today is the Rainbow Laces campaign. Now, Stan, I want to ask you, of course, the importance of the Rainbow Laces campaign and that everybody feels, included and looked after when they come to watch Everton Football Club.
Yeah, of course. You know, Everton's an included club. We're very, very proud of our Everton supporters, fan base, and the Everton family. And the Rainbow Laces idea is to promote awareness around LGBTQ plus issues. You know, people shout things out in the crowd. You don't know anything about the people who sit by you or sit behind you, and how cruel and how much hurt would that cause. So just to raise that awareness and to make everyone think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I saw some stats that I found quite alarming, really. That 40% of people that are gay men, bisexual men, didn't feel they could be involved in sport. Same with lesbian, bisexual women. And there was all kinds of stats where people maybe didn't feel as safe and included as what you'd want to. So that's why this is so important, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we need to make everyone welcome to come to Goodison Park. To be a supporter, to be a player, to work for the club. You know, it's crucial, isn't it? Really, we've moved a long way, but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, there absolutely is. And as a member of the LGBTQ plus, you know, myself, I think, you know, it's so important that everybody feels represented and everybody feels that they have a voice and somewhere to go to. And is there, you know, something people could issue a report or anything like that if they hear anything homophobic, and you know, how would they get in touch and go about reporting that?
Absolutely. Well, you can contact the club directly. You can also raise those issues with the Everton Fans Forum. We have a particular group called Evertonians Against Hate. We're very keen to get involved in that, and you can email the chair at evertonfansforum.com.
Brilliant. And just to ask you about the Everton Fans Forum as well, how are they working with Rainbow Laces campaign to make everything more inclusive and better for everybody involved?
We're working proactively. We've got a number of different groups, number of different ideas and projects that we're working on. Great connections with Rainbow Laces. Sorry.
It's all right, don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we've got great connections with Rainbow Toffees. We worked really hard with a number of groups over the year to promote awareness.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fantastic work that you're doing, Stan. And of course, it really, really is so important. We want to make sure that everybody, not just at Everton Football Club, but in football, in society, that everybody feels safe and everybody feels respected and that they've got, you know, the support that they need. We're all equal at the end of the day, and that's the message. So we just want that to be as loud and clear as possible. And as I say, it's fantastic work that you and the Fans Forum, Rainbow Laces, Stonewall, everyone does. So it's good to see this fixture recognised, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you know, the accreditation that the club's got, being a Stonewall diversity champion, I know that's very, very difficult to earn, but it comes with really good mentorship afterwards, really good resources. The club are absolutely resolved to make this a welcome place to work in.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we love to see. Stan, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the endless and tireless work that you do. You're fantastic.
Okay, great to meet you, sir.
Brilliant. You too. Thank you. Back to you, Giulia.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. The Rainbow Laces, there's much more information in your matchday programme as well. It's one of those campaigns, isn't it? We actually don't want to have it, but unfortunately we do. And it's to make sure there is zero discrimination in football and, of course, right across our society. So thank you, Sarah, for finding out a little bit more about the Rainbow Laces campaign for us. Don't forget, Higher or Lower is coming up. So if you'd like to be a contestant on that, do let us know. It's your chance to win a stadium tour for 2 people here at Goodison Park. So it is a brilliant prize. Let's get a little bit more music now. Please welcome back to the stage, Joe Smithson.
I would like to leave this city, but this old town don't smell too pretty good. I can feel the warning signs running around my mind. And when I leave this planet, you know I'd stay, but I just can't stand it, 'cause I can feel the warning signs running around my mind. Here I go, still scratching around in the same old hole. My body feels young, but my mind is very old. So what do you say? You can't give me the trees in mine anyway. Half the world away, half the world tongue, but my mind is very old. What do you say? You can't give me the trees to the mind anyway. And half the world's away. Half the world's away. Half the world's away. Been lost, I've been found, but I don't feel down. No, I don't feel down. No, I don't feel down.
Thanks much, ladies and gents. Welcome back.
Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Thank you there, Joe Smithson, keeping us all entertained in the fan zone. Thank you very much. I can let you know as well, Everton women have taken the lead at Aston Villa in the WSL. Lucy Graham, fantastic news with that goal, but they're still playing in that game, so I'll keep you posted on that. You might have seen, if you've been in the fan zone this season, that we quite often talk to fans that have travelled quite a distance to be here for a game. We've seen them from Australia, America, and Sarah has been chatting to somebody pitch side, I think she's there now, that's come all the way from Greece. Let's find out a bit more. Sarah.
Thanks, Giulia, and I am delighted to be joined pitch side now by a member of our Greek Toffees, Eurasimos. I think I pronounced that correctly.
That's correct, yeah.
Brilliant. Or also Makis, see?
Call me Makis.
Makis, that's the one. So firstly, how are you feeling to be here? Is this your first time at Goodison Park, or?
Always excited to be here. It's not my first time I've been here, and it's not our club's first time to be here. We've been here in 2013, I think it was the first time. And as a club, talking about like Greek Toffees, and as official club, we've been the last 5-6 years now. It's our third time again as an official club, so it's fourth time, I think. But I've been here myself quite a few times other from that. So always excited to be here, and always a nice feeling to be in this stadium, and especially stepping on the pitch. It's just amazing feeling.
Well, we had to make you feel special coming here today. I'm glad that it's not your first time at Goodison, but always a special occasion. And of course, Crystal Palace today. Obviously, the last game of Goodison Park last season, it was against Crystal Palace. We won't see that kind of drama today, but you're expecting to see an Everton win today.
I expect a win. It's got to be a win. It's a massive game for us. And speaking about the last game with Palace, thankfully, I escaped the A&E. I was almost a heart attack. It was just an amazing feeling, an amazing game, and the way it turned up. And I got to tell you about the last game. We're losing 2-0 in the halftime. I was sure that we're gonna win the game.
You knew? Did you feel confident that we were going to turn it around?
I knew it.
Yeah?
I was 100% sure that we're going to win the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you and I think I was sat down there in front of the park end, almost, biting my nails off at that moment. So it's good to know that you were so certain of the victory that day. But in terms of today's game, Frank Lampard doing a good job. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he might be back in the team. He came back in the last game. How do you see this one going today?
I cannot really tell, especially about Calvert-Lewin. I think he needs more time on the pitch to stepping up and getting closer to what he was. But eventually he'll make it. And it's not only a matter of Calvert-Lewin. We need more support from the midfield. Talking about productive game, more attacking, more creative. We need to be more clinical, and the last third. We have to get more from the wingers rather than the striker itself. We need more from Gray. Gordon needs to step up a little bit.
Well, hopefully, those players will be on the best of their game today. Whoever steps out on that pitch wearing the royal blue, we don't know what the starting 11 is going to be just as of yet when we're recording this, but very excited to see. Can I just ask you, how did you become an Evertonian?
Well, I can give you hundreds of reasons, but you still won't understand. If you don't know the feeling, you can get it. It's Everton that chooses you. Yeah. You're not choosing Everton.
Yeah.
hundreds, like I said. You like a player, you like the team. When obviously I come from abroad, and it's not like my father taught me to follow Everton. I try to choose a team that he has no shadows in the history, and Everton is that. Everton is a team that you must be proud of the history. That's what Everton is.
I absolutely love that answer. You don't choose Everton, Everton chooses you, and we're very glad that Everton chose you. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, Gerosimos, and we hope you enjoy the game, and hopefully 3 points for Everton, and send all our love to the Greek Toffees as well. We really appreciate your support. Up the Toffees. Cheers, Giulia, and back to you.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, a really big welcome today to the Greek Toffees. There they are. Give us a wave, guys. Welcome to Goodison. I hope you have a fantastic day and you also see a win as well. Brilliant. Well, don't forget we've got coming up higher or lower. So if you'd like to be my contestants, if you want to make your way to the front, after this, I'll be finding a couple of contestants as well. And don't forget, today's fixture is all about the Rainbow Laces campaign. If you do want more information, you can check it out on social media and also in the Matchday programme as well. Now, I think Sarah has got another special guest, someone, if you're a music lover, you might recognise. So, Sarah, we'll come back to you. Who have you got with you?
3, 2, 1. Thanks very much, Giulia. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by DMA's frontman, Tommy O'Dell, Evertonian, all the way from Australia. Tommy, thank you so much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here today. Do you want to tell us a little bit about, firstly, how you became an Everton fan?
Well, my dad's from Liverpool, and he was an apprentice here when he was 18. And then he moved to Australia and started a family, and I'm from Sydney, but yeah, it's in my blood, and every time I come back here, it gives me a tingle down my spine. I just love it. So, looking forward to today.
That's what we love to hear, the tingle down the spine. That's what it's all about here. Now, DMAs as well, you guys are doing amazing right now. You guys, 3-piece from Sydney. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've got going on at the moment?
Well, we've got a new album coming out in March. Got a new single out called Everybody's Saying Thursday's the Weekend. Got a tour. It's always good to be back in the UK. We've got a lot of fans here, and it's my second home. And as I said, I'm just so stoked to be at Goodison.
Yes, well, we're stoked to have you here, Tommy. It's really brilliant. I was speaking to you before as well about obviously being Australian. We make the reference a lot. Tim Cahill, hero. An absolute hero, an absolute icon. Is he someone that is he one of the reasons that you love Everton as well as your dad?
Yeah, of course. I mean, since Timmy Cahill, there's been a lot of Everton fans come out of the woodwork in Australia, which is great for the club. But yeah, I love Timmy. He's a legend. I've not met him, but I'd like to one day. So.
Make it happen. Let's make this happen. Now, Tommy, you're going to be in Sydney. Everton will be in Sydney next month.
Yeah.
Are you going to be getting to the games? Are you excited for that?
Yeah, I can't wait. Going to take my old man, take my little boy. The stadium's just down the road from where I live, so it's going to be great.
That's absolutely incredible. So is your little boy an Evertonian now as well? Yeah,
he's got to be. Gotta be. He doesn't have a choice.
That's exactly how it is, Tommy. Now, I've spoken about this game before. Obviously, Crystal Palace last season, it was such an iconic fixture. It's hard not to make that comparison. Obviously, it won't be quite as dramatic today. But do you have some memories from that game in May?
Oh, look, it's a bit of a blur, to be honest. I just remember being in tears at the end of the match. It was just so nerve-wracking, and also to be like on the other side of the world, it was just like, it was just unbelievable to come back from 2-0 as well. It's brilliant.
It was, and it's always interesting hearing like different people's like moments of where they were during that game, because as you said, so far away but still feeling every bit of emotion and the tears of relief at the end, seeing the fans on the pitch.
Well, I rang my brother and my dad who were watching it together because they live a bit further away from where I'm living, and they were just in tears. My dad was inconsolable, and I've never seen him like that before, or heard him like that. So let's have a good year this year, and hopefully we don't have to deal with that for a while.
I was going to say, Tommy, hopefully we don't see those kind of scenes again, because although it was spectacular, we don't want to be seeing celebrations for those reasons. We want to see us celebrating for reasons like winning trophies and stuff. And obviously, Frank Lampard, that will be an ambition of his to get the club success again. What have you made of the manager so far?
He's been good. He's restored a bit of faith. He's got the fans behind the club again, and been a bit wobbly the last few weeks, but I have no doubt he'll get it back on track, and we'll start this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting today, hopefully, versus Crystal Palace. We've got Tommy here all the way from Oz. He's surely going to be a good look for us. But as I say...
Hope so.
Can we get a score prediction for you?
1-0.
1-0.
Simple, that bad.
Goal scorer? That's a bit harsh of me, that, wasn't it?
DCL.
I think it's massive having him back in the squad, doesn't he? He offers us something different.
Yeah, he's great. When he's fit, he holds the ball up. He's great in the air. He's an outlet. Brilliant player. I just want him to get to that form he was at last season. So.
Absolutely. Well, Tommy, you've been fantastic. Remind us the name of the single, because I got it, but it's a mouthful, and I don't want to get it wrong. But you've got your signal out right now.
Yeah, everybody's saying Thursday's the weekend. So.
Everybody's saying Thursday's the weekend.
Yep.
Download it, and the album drops in March. And for all you guys out in Oz, you want to see Tommy and the DMAs, they are going to be there. So come say hi. Back to you, Giulia.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the time.
Legend.
Yeah, thank you very much to Sarah and Tommy there as well. Good to get his thoughts. It's felt very international in the fan zone today, hasn't it? Right, I've got my contestants here for higher or lower. They're quite young, so fan zone, I think they're going to need your help today. So make sure you join in. All right, my first contestant, what's your name?
Josh.
Josh, and how old are you, Josh?
8.
8 years old, and it's your birthday next week, you've been telling me. Well, happy birthday from everyone at Everton for next week. Josh, I'll get a score prediction from you before we start the game. What do you think?
2-1 to Everton.
2-1 to Everton. Brilliant. All right, and playing against you, we have got, it's like Blockbuster, 2 against 1. Here we go. What's your name, girls?
Iris. Imi.
Imi. Fantastic. Let's get a score prediction from Iris and Imi today. What do you think? Is it going to be an Everton win?
2-1. Yeah, 2-1.
2-1. Everyone's saying 2-1. I like the confidence. I like the positivity. Brilliant. All right, Josh, you're going to be going first. And what you do on higher or lower, really easy. Just tell me if you think the next card will be higher or lower. Do you want the fan zone to help you as well? Yeah. No, you don't. Feeling confident. Well, I'll ask them anyway in case you get stuck. Okay. All right, let's get Josh's cards onto the big screen. Here we go. Okay, the subject is most Premier League passes. Here we go. Amadou Onana, 264. But what about Anthony Gordon? I'll ask the fan zone, shall I? Fan zone, higher or lower for Anthony Gordon on passes? Oh, it's a real mix there. You're right not to go with him at all, Josh. All right, what do you think? Higher or lower for Anthony Gordon?
Higher.
Higher? Okay, let's see if you're right. We need it to be higher than 264. Oh no, 173, not to worry. Still got plenty of cards left to go. Here we go then. Dwight McNeil. Do you think that's higher than Anthony Gordon's 173? What do you think, fan zone? Lower. Oh, they're all saying lower, but completely up to you. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, lower.
You're saying lower as well. Let's see if you're right. Dwight McNeil, is it lower? Oh my goodness me! These are the worst cards ever. 183. Okay, right, let's try and get your point here, Josh. Vitaly Mikalenko, what we saying? Fan zone, I'm going to ask you, he needs a point here. Higher than 183, what do we think? Higher or lower? Okay, everyone pretty much saying higher. But what do you think, Josh?
Higher.
Okay, Josh says higher. Fingers crossed, here we go. We need it higher than 183. Brilliant, of course. Fantastic. 410 passes. All right, Jordan Pickford. Right, fan zone. What do we think? Let's get Josh another point. Higher or lower? Okay, a lot saying lower, but what do you think? Jordan Pickford.
I'm going to say lower.
You're going to say lower than 410. Let's have a look for you. Is Jordan Pickford lower? It is. You got 2 points. 311 passes. All right, Conor Cody. What do we think? Higher than Jordan Pickford's 311? Fan zone, help him out. Higher or lower? A lot are saying higher for you, but it's up to you. What do you think?
Higher.
Higher as well. Let's have a look. Conor Cody, higher than Jordan Pickford? 468. Brilliant stuff. Okay, I make that 3 points that you got there, Josh. Okay, brilliant. Stay there. Let's see how your opponents get on. Iris and Imi, come over here where you can see the big screen. I know the sun shines out now, so it's making it a bit difficult. Let's have a look at your cards and see if you can win the stadium tour for 2 people. Here we go. Okay, same subject. Damari Gray starts on 241. But what are you saying about Alex Iwobi for passes? Fan zone higher or lower? Everybody's pretty much saying higher, but it's completely up to you.
Higher. Higher.
Okay, the girls are saying higher for Alex Iwobi. Let's have a look. Is it higher than 241? 439. Brilliant. Much higher there. Crikey. All right, James Tarkovsky fan zone. Help them out. Higher or lower? What are we saying? Okay, a lot are saying lower, but completely up to you. What do you think?
Lower.
You going with them? Right, fan zone, this one's on you. Here we go. Lower. Is it lower for James Tarkovsky? Oh! It's all right, we'll blame the others for that. Okay. Idrissa Garnegay then. What do we think? Higher than 483 or lower? Fan zone, what are we saying? They're all saying lower. But it's up to you. What do you think? They did get it wrong last time, but it's completely up to you. Higher or lower? Keep in mind, you know, didn't join at the start of the season.
Yeah, lower.
You're saying lower. Okay. Let's have a look. Is Idrissa Gay lower? 256. Okay, you have 2 points on the board there. Okay, Nathan Patterson. What are we saying, fan zone? Higher or lower for Nathan Patterson? Okay, a lot are saying higher, I think. I did hear a lower, but it's completely up to you. Higher or lower for Nathan Patterson? What do you think, girls?
I think we're going to go higher.
You're going to go higher. Okay, let's have a look. It needs to be higher than 256. Let's have a look. Okay, you've still got 2 points. I think these are quite tough today, some of these. All right, Mason Holgate. Do you think, fan zone, what are you saying? Higher or lower? Lower? A lot are saying lower. Okay. Higher or lower then, girls, than Nathan Patterson's 197. What do you say?
Should you go lower? Yeah, lower.
You sure? Okay, the girls are saying lower. Let's have a look. Needs to be lower than 197. Okay. Well, I can say it's a 3-3 draw, but I am prepared with a tiebreaker. Okay, you might struggle because... do you drive? Neither of you? No, okay, right, fine. Here we go then. Josh, I'm going to come to you first. How many miles do you think there are between Goodison and Crystal Palace's Selhurst Park? What do you think? How many miles?
200.
200, all right. Josh has said 200. Guys, girls, what do you think? Miles? I know you don't drive, so you probably don't think about this too much. What do you think?
210.
210. Oh, that was tactical. I love it. Well, I can say it is 203 miles. I tell you what, I don't think we've ever had a closer tiebreak. Oh, girls, play again, though, another game. Yeah, definitely. I've got a match day programme for you, girls. And Josh, you have won a stadium tour for 2 people here at Goodison. Who are you going to take with you?
My dad.
Your dad, brilliant. And you get to have your photograph in the changing room. Who would you like to have, whose player's space would you like a picture? Who's your favourite player again?
Pickford.
Jordan Pickford. Don't worry, I'm sure they can sort that for you. Have a lovely time. Our together were really young today. Give them a massive round of applause. Thank you so much for playing. Here's your prizes. Okay, that's for the girls there. That's the programme. And that's your stadium tour for 2 people. Yeah, just swap them over. Brilliant. Okay, well, that's it for the fan zone right now. I know a lot of you are getting ready to go inside as well today. I just want to say thank you very much to everyone that's joined us in the fan zone. Next game I'm sure you won't forget, but I will remind you just in case. Leicester, Saturday, the 5th of November. It's a 5:30 kickoff. We'll be back here with lots of pre-match entertainment in the fan zone as well. Thank you to Sarah for all the work inside Goodison. Don't forget as well, it's half term, I know, this week. If you're looking for something to do on Wednesday evening, head to Walton Hall Park, because our women's side are in action in the Women's League Cup game against Aston Villa. It is a 6:30 kickoff. I hope to see loads of you there at Walton Hall Park. Thank you for your company. Enjoy the game. Fingers crossed for 3 points, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
Jostled for position inside the penalty area, and Michael Keane. Gordon, full-back Sigurdsson, that's the second. Up he steps, and confidently so. Coleman, Richarlison, he's got there, and Everton have put it in with calvert-lewin. Now the shot comes in brilliantly, James Rodriguez! And leaves it. Finds
Thanks, Giulia, and I'm absolutely delighted. Look who's just joined me, Nathan Patterson. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us here on Everton Live. Firstly, you're getting on well, I believe?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Nearly back next week, I think, hopefully. But yeah, recovering well.
It's really good to hear that, because obviously when you got injured, I think there was talk about you being out for maybe a little bit longer than you are. You must have worked really hard to get back when you have.
Yeah, obviously it's part of the game, you get injured, but it's how you obviously recover, and been working hard with the physios and just making sure that rehab properly and getting back as soon as possible.
Well, we're delighted to hear. Obviously, Frank said in his presser that you should be available for the next game. There's never, I'd imagine, a good time to get injured in football, but you were really hitting some great form for Everton. It must have been disappointing mentally as well for the injury to come at that time.
Yeah, as I said, it's part of the game, but obviously I was doing really well, I was picking up good form, and the team was doing really well as well. So it was obviously disappointing to have to obviously come out of the team and just watch from the sidelines and not be able to help at certain points, but hopefully I can get back in the team as soon as possible.
And in terms of your international as well, obviously delighted to know that you're going to be back in time for the World Cup. That must have been a little bit of a worry for you.
Yeah, of course, but it's just obviously my main goal is to get back on the pitch for Everton, and hopefully I can do that as soon as possible, as I said.
We can't wait to see you. As you know, the fans are a big fan of you already, Nathan. You've heard your chant? It's a belter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously to have the backing from the fans every week, and obviously they've made a song for you, so it's a proud moment for yourself when you know the fans believe in you, and it's great. It obviously gives you the confidence boost to go on and do well in the games.
That's what we want, and obviously it's a big game today. Couple of disappointing results, but it's been a tough fixture list. But you back the boys and Frank to obviously back at home. Fancy us to get a good result today?
Yeah, of course. There's no easy games in this league. It's full of top teams and top talent, but there's a lot of top talent in that changing room, and we all believe in ourselves. So hopefully we can go on and get the 3 points today.
Let's hope so. And obviously Seamus Coleman as well, captain. He's stepped in whilst you've been injured, and it's great to have someone like him. And what's it been like as a young player to learn of someone so great in that position as well?
Yeah, it's been great. Since I've come in the front door from the very first day, he's been there helping me and praising me and wanting me to do better. And we speak to each other and working hard together to try and obviously benefit the club. And we've been doing that well, and it's paid off this season. And he's come in obviously when I've been injured, and he's done really well, and it's expected of him because he's a top athlete and top guy.
It's great to see though that we've got Seamus and then yourself, young player coming through in that position, so it's brilliant. I just want to say to everybody, I mentioned to Nathan before about Everton going to Sydney, there is an opportunity for you guys. Travel, everything, all expenses sorted. Information will be on the website and on the screen now. But for now, we better let Nathan go. But thank you so much, Nathan, for your time. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pleasure. See you back on the grass soon, mate. Now we have a pre-match player interview.
Well, James, you come into this on a run of 3 defeats, but there's a bigger story than that, isn't it? It's not just about the results in recent weeks.
No, it's not. The results are important, obviously. I think 3 defeats in a row always looks bad on paper, but it's not all doom and gloom. We're in a good place most of the season. It's just been a tough couple of weeks, so we'll have to turn it around today.
Yeah, you've had a really hard run of fixtures, away games where you haven't been able to get on the front foot. How important is it to start in attacking mode today?
Yeah, of course. At home, fans right behind us, ready to go. Hopefully a good attacking display and plenty of goals on show for us.
And that's been the problem, it seems, this season, scoring goals. So many goals in the team on paper. Why haven't they been putting them in?
I think for different reasons. Last few games we've sort of game planned to stay tight against teams who are attacking and hard to break down. So sometimes the way it goes. But we've made plenty of chances, and it's time to go and start scoring some goals.
Yep, so very much building up to this one now. But now let's hear as well from the main man, the gaffer. Here's Frank Lampard ahead of this one.
Well, Frank, I suppose it's always the way, but is it ultimately a result over performance day today?
I think it always starts with performance. Generally, it should dictate the manner of the game and hopefully bring you the right performance. So we have to focus on that going into it. You know, all these games are tough. Crystal Palace in good form, good team, big threats. So yeah, concentrate on that performance and try and get a result.
How important is it to get on the front foot as early as possible, especially at home?
Well, ideally, yes, yeah, because of the nature of how we want to play here, and we need intensity in our game. But yeah, you know, again, you've got to respect the opponent, and they can play, they can move the ball well. So there's lots of parts to our game that we need to get right. But the team are in good shape. But a few tough games, we know that. But we're confident when we play here and when we play well. So we need to deliver that.
It suggests that you've gone with an unchanged lineup. What needs to change? Chances have been created. I suppose is it a case of just taking them?
Well, yeah, sometimes. The last game we didn't create enough, but at Goodison we generally do. So, you know, we need to continue and understand that sometimes this Premier League throws you difficult periods. We've had some tough games, there's no doubt, 2 tough games on the road. So we're back home, lose no confidence, concentrate on the things we do well and deliver them.
Well, that is about it from another jam-packed Everton Live show. We hope you've enjoyed it. Just an update on scores as well. Everton women have come away with the win at Aston Villa. Lucy Graham on the score sheet. So sorry we didn't get a link with them, but we'll hear from her next week. But for now, back to this one. Everton versus Crystal Palace. Let's get that win. Come on, you Blues, and we'll see you next time.